Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing today? You know, the first attempt was okay. I know we can do better. How is everybody today? It's my honor to welcome each and every one of you to the celebration today marking the 200th anniversary of the birth of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith, and also the birth of his forerunner, the Bab. My name is Tabassum, and I'm your MC for this afternoon's program. So, we're going to start with a piano piece, and it's going to be done by our beautiful Ava, and it's entitled The Prayer. Thank you so much, Abajun. That was beautiful. You know, today is a very special day. All around the world, in every city, every country, really every corner of the world, Baha'is have been planning for at least, I don't even know how many months, to organize thousands of celebrations. So it really means the world to us to have you all here today. The Baha'i Faith is the youngest of the world's independent religions. Baha'is live in 235 countries around the world. They come from over 2,100 ethnic tribes, and they number some 5 million worldwide. Now, the Baha'i Faith was started in Iran in 1844, and it was introduced to Canada in 1898. And now there's about 35,000 Canadian Baha'is all over Canada, with about 1,000 of them living in Coquitlam. So come on, Coquitlam people, let's hear it. We love our Coquitlam. Baha'u'llah's teachings, they focus on transformation, transforming communities, transforming your hearts and souls. And it has to do with elevating our spiritual development and creating stronger bonds of friendship, love, and unity. You know, there's a saying that you hear all throughout your life from day one, and that's the Prophet founder's son. His name was Abdu'l-Baha, and he used to always say, bring those who have been excluded into the circle of intimate friends. 12 words, but that was the foundation, I think, of every Bahai's life, is to bring those who have been excluded for whatever reason, bring them into the circle of intimate friends. And this is what we hope to do today. Baha'is of the world come from every religious background: Buddhists, Zoroastrians, Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, Jews, and Muslims. Their sense of unity goes just beyond a shared theology. It really has to do with seeing the world as one country. Imagine if we saw the entire world as one country and mankind its citizens. So we're working for a global program for moral, spiritual, and social progress that really encompasses all, not just one group of people, but we have to have a vision that's truly world-embracing. We'll be sharing a bit of that with you a little bit later in the program. Now, in order to maintain the dignity of today's program, would you kindly reach into your pockets and reach for your cell phones and put them on silent, just so that we don't have cell phones going off. So thank you for that. And if at any time, those with small children, if the program is a little bit long for them, we do have refreshments on this side, so please feel free to take a break with them. Our program today, the purpose of it really is meant to share with the community at large who Baha'u'llah was and the transformation of his teachings, how it's had transformations on community after community. We're here also to celebrate unity in diversity. So we're going to have a beautiful program from performers from around the world to show our diversity. You know, we look at this beautiful set that was designed by our volunteers, and you look at the flower arrangements, they're every color. And imagine if it was just one color, it wouldn't be as beautiful. But you see that the beauty of one offsets and enhances the beauty of the other. And so this is a perfect example of unity in diversity. We wanted to open today's celebration by acknowledging the ancestral and unceded territory of Coquitlam First Nation, and to thank those who came before us. We are honored to have esteemed guests as well in our midst, and we have our MLA, Selena Robinson. Please. We also have the Mayor of Coquitlam, Mr. Richard Stewart. Our City Councilor, Bonita Zarillo. And City Councilor, Terry Towner. They'll be sharing a few words with us, but first we'll start with a message from the Member of the Parliament for Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, from Mr. Ron McKinnon, who couldn't be here today. He sent his regrets, but he sent a message to us. As a Member of the Parliament for Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, I am delighted to share my congratulations and offer my honored wishes for a successful gala celebrating the 200th anniversary of the birth of Baha'u'llah. The beliefs that your community shared embody equality and harmony, values that are very important for Canadians. I am truly inspired by your commitment to foster unification and build bridges for others. Thank you, Mr. Ron McKinnon. Now please join me in welcoming the Honorable Selina Robinson. She's the MLA for Coquitlam Malakville for the Government of BC and the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Welcome.
Thank you, and I'm pleased to join you today in celebration of the 200th anniversary of the birth of Baha'u'llah. And at first, I'd also like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, and I really am so thrilled to bring you all greetings on behalf of our Premier, John Horgan, and the government of British Columbia. I'm a Jewish woman and have had the wonderful opportunity of spending some time in Israel. I lived there in the early 80s, and I have to tell you, looking at your place of worship in Haifa, it is the most incredible building, but it is also a beacon. It's a beacon that speaks out to those in the surrounding areas. And I remember seeing it from the water and really noticing the invitation, the idea of you can come here and be part of this. And when I was listening to the words of earlier about this idea of inclusion and inviting people in, I want to, acknowledge how important that is, that when we think about inclusion and that when we invite people in, that all of our spaces provide that invitation. And I really do believe that the teachings of Baha'u'llah have been transformed into those actions, and certainly I saw it in the building in Haifa. And so I want to thank you very much for bringing all of those teachings and all of that message to Canadians, to the world, and absolutely to here in Coquitlam. We are better for your presence, we are better for your worship, and we are better for your message. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful celebration.
Thank you so much. And now we're honored to welcome the Mayor of Coquitlam, His Worship Richard Stewart, to share a few words with us all.
Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to be here on behalf of Coquitlam City Council to welcome you all and to join in this celebration. C'est vraiment mon plaisir en tant que maire et au nom du conseil municipal de vous souhaiter tous la bienvenue et de vous joindre dans cette célébration. We are an amazingly diverse community here in Coquitlam, and to have such a wonderful celebration here is a real honor, and I'm most pleased that my colleagues, Councillor Zarillo and Councillor Towner, are able to join me, but all of Council joins in acknowledging this celebration. I will begin by echoing, indeed adopting, the words shared by Member of Parliament Ron McKinnon and by Minister Selina Robinson, because they said it well. We are better because there is a group in our community that believes that we can all be one, that Coquitlam's diversity is a strength in our community. We believe that, and clearly you do as well. Oddly enough, I Googled Baha'i 200th celebration, and there are hundreds of them, and you have to actually add Coquitlam because this celebration is going on around the world, and it's an amazing recognition of the 200 years since the birth of Baha'u'llah and his forerunner, the Bab. Minister Robinson mentioned that she's Jewish, I'm Christian, but watching that evolution of the Abrahamic faiths, the reality that Judaism and Christianity and Islam, that we all get to join together. The progressive revelation is something that I found inspiring when it was first introduced to me in university by a young lady who convinced me to come to an event. I'm not sure she's here. I haven't seen her, but I haven't seen her in 40 years, but she convinced me to come to an event to see what this was about. And I urge you to continue to do that so that the world will understand the incredible blessings that the Baha'i Faith can bring. On behalf of Coquitlam City Council, congratulations, and thank you so much for including us in your celebration.
You know, we received a beautiful message from the Assembly of First Nations, from Chief Perry I want to make sure I say it right, Belagad, and his greetings to the Baha'i Community of Canada. He said, on behalf of all First Nations, I would like to thank the Baha'is of Canada for supporting First Nations inherent and treaty rights. Baha'u'llah taught the importance of unity and justice amongst all peoples, regardless of their race or faith. This message resonates deeply with the First Nations peoples, as witnessed by the many First Nations people that are part of the Baha'i community. I look forward to working together with the Baha'is of Canada as we walk together towards a new era of peace, justice, and reconciliation. Thank you so much to the Chief. To share a few words about the Baha'i Faith now. Baha'u'llah, whose name means the glory of God, came to establish the unity of our global society. He taught us that there is only one God, that there's one human race, and that all religions are truly one, that God progressively reveals his teachings to us. And so they're brought to us by the messengers of God, Moses, Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, the Bab. And now Baha'u'llah, the most recent messenger in this line, has brought teachings that address not only the spiritual, but also the moral and social challenges of our world. He says that God has set into motion forces that are breaking down traditional barriers. So, you know, every time we turn on the TV, if you see what looks like chaos and disintegration is actually the reintegration, rebuilding of a new world society, a global society. He gave us principles and teachings on spiritual development, which must be put into motion worldwide. And what are some of those teachings and principles, you may ask? The Universal House of Justice, who is the governing body for the Baha'is worldwide, has prepared a beautiful film. We've taken some excerpts from this movie, and they're going to be shared with you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Baha'is of the world.
Besangi beto mako mekenchi yeto ya kiate manchi kameso yeto yako shikama bache ya meseka yomo na bache ya Baha'u'llah leo manye ji mukwambile diye leo manye ji mukwambile diye majja dito mabo bumwe bujate mabobo chambe madinanga ashika meso meseka yo shikama bache chambe katombeye yo yanangine bache wala ntango zoambe.
Zie je, ken je al. Het is gewoon...
Ik wil even deze op.
Ja.
Everything that we do right now is very much connected to the revelation of Baha'u'llah.
Whenever we have a gathering, when we come together, when we say prayers, it's like having this very beautiful community where everyone knows each other and we're very connected.
Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart.
I know more about my neighbors. I know more the children that live here, the youth that live here. And it all comes down to the teaching and the revelation of Baha'u'llah. It's yes, my family grew, it doubled and tripled a bit.
What Baha'u'llah has given us is the meaning of being indigenous, and being that, we have an obligation to contribute to the rest of the world from what God has given us. The last prophets or messengers from God that we've had in our midst, they have talked about winter and springtime, and Baha'u'llah is the springtime.
There is a story unfolding. A story of humanity's progress through history, propelled by the teachings of messengers of God. Messengers guiding humanity through its stages of development, and now to the dawn of its maturity.
Tia ati tu buti ilina ati ti ni tuki tu ni hoppo inu lukta no na ya no lukta ta ko ilina ati ti nui ga ngata maliktao ninga akito himayo inu tuki hening nitnu.
Now is the time of Baha'u'llah, the messenger of God for this day.
Baha'u'llah's purpose is to unite all mankind, to bring all races, classes, peoples, different backgrounds to be united.
The teachings of Baha'u'llah are inspiring millions of people, transforming neighborhoods, villages, and cities in every country on earth.
Baha'u'llah è venuto per trasformare l'intero carattere dell'umanità, portare un cambiamento interiore ed esteriore nelle condizioni del mondo.
Baha'u'llah's teachings are vast in scope, essential in nature. Their central feature is the oneness of humankind, with all its implications for the transformation of those essential relationships that bind peoples and nations, helping them to transcend all forms of prejudice, to advance the equality of women and men, to uplift the downtrodden, and to foster economic justice. These teachings of Baha'u'llah represent an end to division and otherness. This is the time for the recognition that all people are one family, for the building of a united world that embraces the diversity of its peoples. It is a new chapter of humanity's story, a chapter that began 200 years ago.
Baha'u'llah says, "Noble have I created thee, yet thou hast abased thyself. Rise then unto that for which thou wast created." Man was created to contribute to the betterment of society, to advance civilization. And one of the ways that he does that is with the knowledge that he is a noble soul, he is a noble being.
Nous connaissons que nous sommes image bon Dieu, c'est l'homme notre semblé avec bon Dieu. à chaque fois que je vois un monde, puis gros bagage pour me garder, ce n'est pas ni couleur peau, ce n'est pas ni sexe, c'est garder nam. C'est lui pour nous garder, c'est à travers ça, nous pourrons comprendre l'autre. Pour nous connaître, nous, c'est un seul.
பஹாவுல்லா என்ன சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னா, யாம் உன்னை ஒரே புழுதியில் இருந்து ஆக்கியுள்ளோம், ஒருவரை ஒருவர் வந்து உயர்த்திக்க வேணாம் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காகத்தான் வந்து உன்னை வந்து ஒரே புழுதியில் இருந்து ஆக்கியிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு வந்து சொல்றாரு. இந்த ஒரு விஷயத்தை நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம் அப்படியா இருந்தா, ஆண்களும் சரி பெண்களும் சரி, ஆன்மா எல்லாமே வந்து ஒன்று தான், இறைவன்கிட்ட இருந்து வாரது தான் அப்படின்னு வந்து எல்லாரும் வந்து புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம் அப்படியா இருந்தா, உலகம் வந்து ரொம்ப வந்து ஒற்றுமையாக இருக்கும். முக்கியமாக வந்து ஆண் பெண் சமத்துவமும் ரொம்ப வந்து காணப்படும்.
Allah'ın vəhi əslində dilə gətirmək belə bir olmur. Bilmirsən necə təsəvvür edəsən. Ancaq özün birinci ilk növbədə özün dəyişirsən. Sonra övladların o təlim tərbiyə ilə məşğul olur və onlar dəyişir, ailən dəyişir. Sonra yavaş-yavaş bunu xidmət anlayışını da inkişaf etdirirsən və keçir bu cəmiyyətə doğru. İstəyirsən onu ötürəsən cəmiyyətə.
You see, I love the teachings of Baha'u'llah, where they say that we are like a garden of flowers that has different colors of flowers, different designs, and so on. So we understand that we are one. And as we understand that we are one, then we have to work for that oneness. So in the process of working for that oneness, we serve others, we help others.
It's so easy these days to get caught up in kind of focusing on your own troubles, your own desires, and to live a life around that. Baha'u'llah encourages us to turn away from ourselves and actually to think about others. You notice that actually happiness, it doesn't arrive when you're kind of fulfilling your own desires, but actually when you're assisting someone else or helping them to accomplish something that they couldn't. And that's been a real kind of shift in mentality for me. Being able to provide service to the community and encourage others to do so.
وفي مقتطف وايد أحبه من حضرة بهاء يتفضل: لم يزل كان إصلاح العالم بالأعمال الطيبة الطاهرة والأخلاق الراضية المرضية. فهذا يخليني أفكر شنو العمل الطيب اللي أنا أقدر أسويه بحياتي اليومية. شنو يرضي ربي اللي أقدر أطبقه بحياتي وبحياة مجتمعي.
Our purpose in life right now is, in service. We still have racism around, black against whites, but even different nationalities. But then, we all come together and we have this bond, and that is like to bring unity into this community and to the world.
Warago ani Baha'u'llah nop mega ipawan meg daytono hopu mogo ani abgapan yawini ap warago munin community gapano now de ipata penap au nagar muminiwa ap boge now urugatim nasere nega gapan wana paname atonge baigan warane temune ap kakawa mega apa asewinawa tone nop to baigan urugone temuna bagan asi gare asi gugu ba bosik mu gare warimon.
El conocimiento, Dios nos lo dejó para todos. No lo dejó para que pocos individuos se beneficien de ello. El empoderamiento es tener conocimiento de lo que soy yo, de lo que hay a mi alrededor, del propósito que Dios tiene para con la humanidad. Y una vez que uno llega a entender eso, entonces busca la manera de cómo ayudo a los demás para que adquieran también el conocimiento y puedan contribuir a la transformación de acuerdo a sus capacidades.
The principle of consultation is a way of making decisions in a manner that allows individuals to be focused on the pursuit of truth and the good of the whole.
Baha'u'llah a fait quelque chose d'extraordinaire. C'est très difficile de voir les gens qui n'ont pas été à l'école avec les gens qui ont fait des très grandes études ensemble. Et ces gens-là discuter sur un point pour trouver un point de vue.
Consultation can serve as a means for giving voice to the masses. Baha'u'llah teaches it's for everyone. All of us were absolutely encouraged to participate in this process. And it's also closely related to attaining justice on our planet in that all groups have the right and the privilege and the duty to participate in a consultative process.
We live in a time when it's becoming increasingly difficult to hide how many people in the world are suffering, like how many injustices, how many challenges humanity is facing. We don't just want to get rid of injustice, we actually want to build justice. When we come together with others to find strategies, solutions, ways to address many of the complex challenges that we face in society, we have to do so in a way that builds unity, in a way that strengthens collaboration, that builds consensus. Baha'u'llah teaches that the faculty of justice, the faculty of our soul that allows us to distinguish truth from error, allows us to be fair-minded, to treat others in equitable ways, is essential to that process. In fact, justice is the greatest instrument for the establishment of unity.
There is a story unfolding. It is the story of humanity's encounter with God. An encounter playing out around the world, in villages and neighborhoods, towns and cities, in which every soul is a vital participant. It is an encounter full of promise and illumined by the words of Baha'u'llah.
Béni est celui qui préfère son frère à lui-même.
In the garden of thy heart, plant not but the rose of love.
كلكم أثمار شجرة واحدة وأوراق غصن واحد.
Тэгэхээр дэлхийн ертөнцийн нэг л улс орон хүндрэлтэн төөний иргэд юм гэж одоо хэлсэн байдаг.
Свет единства так могуществен, что может осветить всю землю.
The mission of Baha'u'llah in this day has a different scope from in the past, in the sense that we are talking about establishing a new civilization, basically a spiritualized world civilization. We are trying to learn how to build different kinds of communities, really create a different culture that reflects the teachings of Baha'u'llah. One dedicated to service, to collaborating with others in great endeavors, in unity, working with peoples of all backgrounds. That is the conception of religion that we find in Baha'u'llah's revelation, one that is leading us toward the next stage in humanity's evolution, which is the unification of the human race.
April 1890, a distinguished British professor of Middle Eastern Studies, Edward Granville Brown of Cambridge University, met Baha'u'llah on 4 successive interviews and recorded his impressions in great detail. Today, we present to you the following, which is based on a true story that chronicles the meeting of Professor Brown with Baha'u'llah, in which Professor Brown himself expresses a memorable depiction of that encounter.
As I entered the house of Baha'u'llah, I could feel the remarkable atmosphere of spirituality that pervaded there. I felt the serenity and joy of that home. I found myself in a large room along the upper end of which ran a low divan. Though I dimly recall whither I was going or with whom I was to behold, a second or two elapsed ere, with a throb of wonder and awe, I became definitely conscious of the fact that the room was not untenanted. In the corner where the divan met the wall sat a wondrous and venerable figure, crowned with a felt headdress called Taj by dervishes, round the base of which was wound a small white turban. The face of him on whom I gazed I can never forget. Those piercing eyes seemed to read one's very soul. Power and authority sat in that ample brow, while the deep lines in the forehead and the face implied an age in which the jet black hair flowing down almost to the waist seemed to belie. No need to ask in whose presence I stood as I bowed myself before one who is the object of an adoration and love that kings might envy and emperors sigh for in vain. A mild, dignified voice bade me to be seated and then continued. Praise be to thou that thou hast attained. Thou hast come to see a prisoner and an exile. Baha'u'llah then said to me, we desire but the good of the world and the happiness of the nations, that the bonds of friendship and unity between the sons of men should be strengthened, that the diversity of religion should cease, that the differences of race be annulled. What harm is there in this? Yet so shall be. These ceaseless strifes, these ruinous wars shall pass away, and the most great peace shall come. Let not a man glory in this, that he loves his country. Nay, rather, let him glory in this, that he loves his kind. These words, as well as many others, I heard from Baha'u'llah. Consider well whether such doctrines deserve death and bonds, or whether the world has much to gain from their diffusion.
Let not man glory in this, that he loveth his country. Let him rather glory in this, that he loves his kind. You know, for us to be able to love is an action. It can't just be in words alone. And so love requires personal transformation. Baha'is, you know, we don't have churches or clergy. We do have houses of worship around the world. But because there are no churches, then this transformation is really a very personal work, and it involves prayer. And so as Baha'is, prayer is a very important part of our day-to-day lives, and human progress really would be impossible without reflection and contemplation on a daily basis. So we wanted to share a Baha'i prayer with you, and Talia is here today to chant one for us. And the prayer, it says that no matter where you are in the world, doesn't matter in your home, on a mountain, valley, prayers, wherever you are, wherever there is mention of God being made, that spot is blessed.
Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge and the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow where mentions of God hath been made and his praise glorified. I am a Baha'i. I believe in only one God. I believe that all religions come from the same source. I believe that women and men are equal in the eyes of God. I believe in unity in diversity. I believe that all prejudice should be abolished. I believe that science and religion should work hand in hand. I believe in only one universal language, and I believe in universal education. I will spend the rest of my life trying to follow these principles. If we all learn to follow these goals, imagine what a world that would be.
to Mr. Steve Goldrick, Talia, and the youth choir. You were just wonderful. Thank you so much. You know, our efforts to increase the unity in our community requires the development of spiritual qualities and everything that has been shown on the film and spoken about, free from guilt, but really from a place of love. And we hope we've given you a glimpse of what the Baha'i community is all about. We're now moving on to the Unity and Diversity celebration. And we are going to start off with a treat. This lady, her name is Elena Razlog, and she's a mezzo-soprano, is that right? And she sings with the Vancouver Opera. Elena holds a master's in music and opera from the University of British Columbia, as well as a diploma in musical performance from the same university. She has performed in opera productions and concerts all over the world, and is currently with the Vancouver Opera in their grand production of Turandot by Puccini. And she is going to be singing in the 2018 Olympics in Russia. And we have her here today. So she is going to be doing 2 numbers. The first one is an aria in Italian, and the second one is one I think you will recognize. It's a song named Kalinga, and it's in Russian. Elena, we really welcome you. Thank you. Just move a little forward.
Thank you very much.
My goodness, voice of an angel. Thank you so much, Elena. Now we move on to a dance, a performance from the land where Baha'u'llah was born. For the past 27 years, the Vancouver Pars National Ballet has been delighting us with their beautiful traditional dances and costumes from various regions of Iran. Azita Sahib Jam, she combines elegance and tradition to come up with these dances. And we're so honored that they're here today to perform their traditional dance with us. Thank you. Awesome. So they're real athletes. Thank you so much. Now we move on to another part of the world. We're moving on to China. And these beautiful dancers have been dancing together for a number of years under the directorship of Yang Yang. Please join me in welcoming them as they perform Dream of Jiangnan. Isn't that incredible? Isn't it incredible that all around the world people interpret music differently in the dances? I'm always blown away by that. And now from Iran again, we have from the south of Persia, we have a Bandari dance, which is a very classic Persian dance. No? Okay, thank you. Now, we have a flamenco dancer. He was actually my flamenco teacher. He's been teaching for 50 years. And he's here, he studied the origins of flamenco and regional and classical Spanish dance forms. Oscar Nieto. Welcome, Oscar. You know, Oscar has a nickname. He has been dubbed the Flamenco Fred Astaire by the LA Times in recognition of his technical accomplishments and charisma as a performer. He's also a singer and teacher of flamenco song. The presentation today is entitled Alegria, which means joy or happiness. The dancer is Kirill, and the guitarist Gerardo Alcala, with Oscar Nieto on vocals. The dance shows the passion and technical ability of the performers. Kirill Deljanin, he is truly one of the best flamenco dancers I have ever seen, and I sincerely hope you will agree with me, and I know you will after you see him dance. This dance shows the contradiction, the paradox that is very much part of joy and sadness, in that in joy there is sadness, and in sadness there is always joy.
Vámonos. Vamos a ver.
Thank you to Oscar, Gerardo, and Kirill. What a mesmerizing performance. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what did you think of those artistic performances? Wasn't that amazing? You know, in the faith, we're told that if you work is worship, and when you perfect an arts play such an important role. When you do something like this, it's just like, it's the equivalent of prayer. Work is worship, and so are the arts. And so now we just have a couple of final announcements. This is an initiative that the Coquitlam Baha'is have started. It's Unity in Diversity. We're calling for creative works of art So if you're a poet, an artist, sculptor, photographer, we're taking them all and we're going to make an ebook. And so this is no charge to you. You would just do the submissions. You can have up to 2 submissions per person in any language. So we really look forward to receiving your submissions. You can go to coquitlambaha'i.ca and send in your submissions. There will also be the movie that you saw. We're going to have 6 movie screenings and information sessions. If you have any questions, from Monday to Saturday, every day at 7:30 in different locations of Coquitlam, there will be the movie screening and information sessions, and they have sheets outside. Babak Jun, can you put the next slide up? Wonderful. And so it's going to be at Pine Tree Rec Center, Poirier, and Victoria Hall. And we have little flyers ready for you at the information table. We just wanted to take an opportunity also to thank all the volunteers who made today possible. As you know, we're a nonprofit organization, and all of this was an act of love. And so we wanted to thank the sound and lighting technicians, the film and projector crew, the floral and the decorations team, the wonderful children and youth who spent hours practicing the song, and also all the performers who have been so proficient in their craft. Thank you so much. And now the catering team, who has planned an afternoon tea for us with delicious pastries and fruits. And the refreshments are going to be served on this side and that side of the room, so you can go to whichever location you'd like. And finally, we wanted to thank all of you for your support and your attendance. It really means the world to us. And we sincerely hope that this is just the beginning of fostering even deeper bonds of friendship among us all. Thank you everybody for being here. Have a good afternoon.